Hey everyone, Danielle here. My pronouns are she, her, and this is my Survivor Stitchy challenge game, week 4, I believe. So I'm just gonna recap my stitching that I did for the game, and as always, I will be discussing what happened in the game that necessitated the stitching. So, this week we had a tribe, like, they remixed the tribes. I know I was talking last week about would they do 2 tribes of 7 or would they maybe just merge, and they went with the 2 tribes of 7. So technically right now there's only 2 tribes. However, I had already decided that, like, when they got to the merge, I'm just not willing to, like, add any more whips into this rotation. Like, I just feel like I'm maxed with my 3. So I was like, well, when they get to the merge, I will just treat, every player as if they still have the whip that was assigned to the tribe they were originally on. So I decided to basically just start taking that strategy now. So there was, a red, a blue, and a yellow tribe. And now there is just a yellow and a blue tribe. But there are still people who were on the red tribe. So this is Coffee and Eggs, which is my piece for the red tribe. And it got 50 stitches because a person who had been on the red tribe previously found a hidden immunity idol. So I did 50 stitches and I just added like 3 rows to her jacket. And yeah, this was, I actually almost forgot to, like, give it any stitches. But then I was like, oh yeah, no, he found a hidden immunity idol. So, yep, this is not getting the attention I had hoped it would. It feels like the blue and yellow tribes are, like, dominating as far as either doing really well or doing really bad, and the red tribe is just sort of, like, floating in the middle. But since I started Survivor Stitchy game, I have done this whole part of her jacket, and now, as you can see, I am in the short rows now that are gonna come up to here. So you can see them here, like, everything's gonna start getting shorter. So that's nice. So that was project number 1. I have to put everything back on my table. All right, project number 2. This is Acorns and Friends by Lola Crow. And so this should have received, this is my piece for the blue tribe. And the blue tribe actually, let me think, what am I thinking? The blue tribe, it's been a few days. It's Sunday. I don't know if I said that. I don't think I did. It's Sunday the 19th, and Survivor was on Wednesday night. So the blue tribe won. I feel like I think I mixed up. No. Okay, no, Danielle. No. This is not your piece for the blue tribe. This is your piece for the yellow tribe. Acorns and Friends, Lola Crow, yellow tribe. And the yellow tribe had to vote somebody out. And even though they are the new yellow tribe, they did actually vote out somebody who was on the original yellow tribe. I know I feel like this is getting complicated, but I have on the spreadsheet of the players, I color coded them to, the tribe they were originally on. And so kind of what happened was that in this tribe shakeup, the new yellow tribe ended up with 4 red, former red tribe people on it. And so they ended up deciding to vote out a original yellow person. So that meant 150 stitches. However, I did 207 and let me tell you why. So this darker brown, I finished it off in the log because that's where I had been working last week. And then I went ahead and I finished, well, not quite finished, but I brought it down the tree trunk further because I still just had this little cluster to do right here. And then I couldn't go down further there. I did not want to count. I can get some of the cluster here done, but I didn't want to count to it. And there's like 4 random stitches over here and like 6 random stitches over here. And I was like, I just want to stitch. So I picked a new color, this lighter brown. And I started over here and came around this way and I started going across the log. And y'all, like, this was such a complicated, it was such a complicated pattern, like, route to follow, that I just literally decided that I was either going to finish the log or finish my strand, because I just didn't feel like I could be in the middle of this complicatedness and set it down and then come back to it next week. No, that wasn't gonna happen. So yeah, so instead of 150 stitches, I did 207. And there's so this color is done in the log. It does need to go into the trees. And then these holes you see right here is I think it's a dark, like I think it's the darkest brown. Y'all, the shading in Lola Crow is crazy. But yeah, so that is where this is now. And yeah, like, since I picked this up, like, I didn't have this tree at all. I didn't have, I don't think, any of the log, and I only had part of this tree. So that is Acorns and Friends for the yellow tribe. And then we have Beachcomber for the blue tribe. And the blue tribe did win the combination reward immunity challenge. So we did 125 stitches and I added them here in the sea lion. He was like, I was right around here, maybe one of these couple of rows. And so I added all this. And yeah, pretty straightforward. I did exactly 125. As you can see, I am leaving, hanging threads while I'm working on the Survivor Stitchy stuff. I don't normally leave threads, but yeah, so like I said, the yellow tribe went to tribal council and voted out a yellow member, OG yellow person. And it looks like, there's only 2 blue tribe members left, but there's this whole little war between the OG yellow people and the OG red people about, getting them voted out. And so I think that those blue people, which is, this piece / tribe. So like basically if the tribe wins something, then I'll stitch on this. Or if those 2 people, which I know one of them's name is Sophie. It's Sophie and Alex. If one of them were to go on a journey or find a hidden immunity idol, or like I said, I'm also going to start, like, if somebody plays their shot in the dark or plays a hidden immunity idol. So like if an individual who was blue is still there and does something, then this will see stitches. Yeah, I suspect that they will merge. They usually merge at 12. I think it's weird that they did this tribe shakeup at 14, because I feel like that's only 2 weeks of them being in these new tribes. So I don't know if they have plans to change the merge to a different, I was watching Jessie Murray Does Stuff, and she was saying part of why she had never designed a Stitchy game for Survivor is because they like to change things up a lot. And so it's not the most predictable game. And I am definitely seeing that come to fruition in this. But, you know, honestly, I kind of like that I am just making it up as I go along, that I am doing it how it feels good to me and my particular, you know, stitching style. And so, and this is all like, I mean, granted, these stitches that I'm doing into these projects, it's not like I wouldn't be doing these stitches, you know, into a different project. However, what I can tell you is that these 3 projects for sure would not have seen any more work this year. And so far, like, I've done a lot of stitches into especially these 2, the Beachcomber and Acorns and Friends. So, yeah, like, I so far am enjoying it. And Survivor has 2 seasons per year. So I think that I will continue this, and I will actually probably use the exact same pieces, because the reasons that I'm using these pieces are like, there's good color blocking. There's like this one in particular, I want to finish it next year. Coffee and Eggs could be a finish next year too, if it gets some good focus. And Acorns and Friends is a piece that I think is super cute, and I really do want the finish, but like, I don't think I would ever go, oh, I really want to stitch on that. So I think these pieces are like perfect for this game. And yeah. So I had wanted to add in Una the Owl, Imphéant, and Move Forward in Love. But I just can't. I don't have the capacity to add more, so I'm not going to. And, you know, we'll just see. Like, it could end up that, like, the yellow or red ends up in, like, a majority alliance, and then they end up taking the game all the way to the end. And so in that case, like, 2 of these whips are going to get knocked out. And then I would just be working on 1 whip until the end of the game. Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's okay. It wasn't exactly what I envisioned when I started playing. I was definitely envisioning like working on variety, but I think just like making forward progress on these whips that I normally wouldn't be stitching on is gonna be good enough for me. And yeah, so I think that's it. It wasn't a super eventful episode, other than just the tribe shakeup thing, and people are meeting people who they haven't met before, and yeah, but all right, I guess that is it for this week. I will get back to my regularly scheduled Halloween stitching, spooky season stitching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!